How often do you read?
I like to read often, quite often. I read magazines, newspapers, and textbooks at least 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay, and do you have many books at home?
No, I don't have any books at home. I only have my textbooks because I usually borrow different books from the library.
Thank you. And what type of books do children read nowadays?
Nowadays, generally speaking, reading habit of children is on the decline. Whatever they read are on the base of more fiction or fantasy or supernatural characters like Barbie, Superman, or something like that.
Thank you. And how much should a child read every day?
A child should read half to 1 hour daily. I think that would be enough, considering that they have to go to school and do their homework as well.
Thank you. What is the difference between the books sold in the past and the books sold today?
I think in the past, books related to some real concepts like religion, history, tradition, or culture were sold. But nowadays, books, especially novels, mostly are based on fiction and fantasy.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the second part. And this is about the question is, talk about an article that you have read about health. So you get a minute to prepare.
Yes.
And are you ready for your minute?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I read an article about intermittent fasting that I found it very interesting. I read it online on New York Times in December last year. Honestly, I've always struggled with eating a healthy diet and keeping my weight in control. I wanted to make a New Year's resolution for the coming year to follow a healthy lifestyle and adopt a better eating habit. I had a winter break, so I had some free time to do some research on healthy living before the new year. So I went online and started searching for ways to lose weight, and that's when I saw some articles about intermittent fasting. One of them was from New York Times, and that's the article I wanted to read because I found news and articles from the New York Times to be reliable and well researched. Anyway, the article explained the intermittent fasting, and it said intermittent fasting means fasting for 16 hours every day. It can be done by eating dinner at 8 p.m., skipping breakfast, and having the first meal at noon. Also, people can start fasting for 12 hours and gradually increase to 16 hours. This helps in losing weight, as during fasting, glucose gets depleted and our body starts burning fat as energy. And the article also mentioned that everyday fasting can reduce the risk of other diseases like diabetes, Alzheimer's, and some cancers. In fact, before reading this article, I thought people just fast for some religious reasons, and there were no health benefits. And also, I thought it was important to eat 3 meals per day because eating breakfast early boosted our metabolism. To sum up, I found all this information very useful and interesting, so I began following this diet. Of course, it was hard at first, and I almost gave up. But I was beginning to see amazing results that kept me going.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move on to part 3. Do you think people are healthier now than in the past?
No, I think people were healthier in the past because they had good pure food with no harmful additives, fresh, clean air to breathe, and a better work-life balance, and more time to physical activities. In contrast, nowadays there were so many fast food options, so that people are eating junk food more than healthy home-cooked meals.
Thank you. How can you tell whether a website is reliable or not?
Website. I suppose one way is to check URL and see if it's a trusted company or a government agency or university. And another way is to double check the information provided. If a credible site contradicts the information provided by a website, then that site can't be trusted.
Thank you. And what activities can the school organize to keep children fit?
To keep students active, schools can organize fun sports events like sack race or relay runs. And in addition, schools can organize some physical education classes in their daily curriculum, and they can increase recess time so that students get more time to play outside.
Thank you. And what can governments do to improve people's health?
Governments can help people's health by providing them affordable, good quality health care, or building more green spaces like parks, sports stadiums, so that people have somewhere to walk, exercise, or play. And also by taxing junk foods, sugary drinks, alcohol or tobacco.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that is the end of your Ielts exam, and I'm going to give you some feedback. All right?
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go to your feedback. First of all, it's very good. You speak excellent English. You use lots of good vocabulary appropriately and in the right place. So double appropriate, very good. And your article, the only part, because the article, that's the only time you didn't really give me as much eye contact. And so, when you're thinking, of course it's natural in another language, it's an exam. to be looking in different directions, thinking, trying to bring back the information. But when there's a lot of it, it feels like you've memorized something and you're trying to just go over that. Yeah. So it feels unnatural a little. It's better to...
I just want to concentrate.
That's right, but I'm just telling you that it helps if you...
Thank you.
Do it now. I'm not finished yet. Okay, and because you were thinking a lot, you repeated yourself. Into some parts about the article, and where you could have, because your language is good, and that makes me think again that you were trying to remember something that you'd memorized, rather than actually just come out with whatever it is that comes to mind, because you'd have done very well anyway. In part 3 was excellent. I thought it was very good. I can't really fault you.
Thank you. It was kind of you.
So I think one of the most important things is feeling in a good state of mind when you go for a test. So you have a smile on your face and you give good eye contact and you're friendly. I know that is not what you're being tested for, but it does affect maybe the language and the whole atmosphere. Often people use words that they think are heavy in weight, or they're good words to use, and they don't use them in the right place at all. They use them inappropriately, and it shows that they don't understand the language. But if you have read enough, and it will stay in your mind and you'll be able to use it appropriately. But again, saying enough about a subject, being able to expand, use clauses, that all shows your level of language. The complexity of the sentences is important. And I suggest for that you read articles online, interesting things. They don't have to be heavy going. You're not studying physics or even philosophy. Other subjects to do with health, to do with children, to do with education, just everyday subjects that are relevant to every citizen wherever you are. It's important to be up to date with what are the latest ideas. And if you keep yourself up to date by reading articles and books in English, then it's very good for your speaking English too. It will pay off.